Good morning, students. So, we are continuing with the next slide of the lesson, the fundamental unit of life. Okay, so the scientist Haeckel in 1866, he said that nucleus in the cell stores and transmits all the hereditary traits. Hereditary means which are coming from parents to the child. So, now further the cell theory was modified accordingly and it was renamed as cell doctrine or cell principle. So, this is just additional information. And modern cell theory includes the features like the cell is the fundamental unit, it's a structural unit of life, it's the functional unit of all the living organism. It also says that new cells they come from the previous cells. New cells are arising from the pre-existing cells by the process of cell division. All the cells they have some amount and degree of genetic information which comes from the parent. Then energy flow just occurs within the cells. Cells have the hereditary information in the form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acids, and it comes only during the stage of cell division. All cells are basically same in the chemical composition, but their shape and size may vary according to their functions. Going to the next slide. What does the modern theory include? Some more points. All known living things are made up of one or more types of cells. Accordingly, आम्ही mention करतले तांकां unicellular किंवा multicellular, which I have already told you. So, the activity of an organism depends on the total activity of the independent cell. How the cell is working, similarly the body will work. Depending upon specific requirement, the cells they get modified. Sometimes if they are present in the muscles, then our muscles are how they are in shape, spindle shape. आम्ही शिकल्या पळय spindle shape, muscle शिकल्या काय ना. So these are elongated. They may be like nerve cells are elongated. So the cell may be of similar shape. Loss of nucleus in RBC, red blood cells. So it is again a cell. There is no nucleus there. Then cytoplasm is absent in the outer skin cells. So depending upon the function, there will be the organelles present in the cell. Organelles म्हटल्यार few सेलांनी exception आसा, but most commonly कितें organelles आसतली सेला भितर that we will be learning in the coming up slides. ही जी 10th point जो हांवें वाचला, it is only for few cells. So, what about the number of cells, size of cells, shape of the cell? So, some organisms are single cell. That means there is only one cell is there. Like bacteria, yeast, chlamydomonas, diatoms, cosmerium. They are the examples. But there are most of the organisms like plants, animals, human beings, they are multicellular organisms. So, in case of unicellular, only single cell, it performs all the functions independently which are necessary for the existence of the organism. But in case of multicellular, what is happening is there is a division of labor in the cell. हे आम्ही already class 8 तक शिकला. Different cells they perform different functions. So how the cells they come together, they form a tissue. Tissues they come together and they form an organ. Organs they come together and they give us organ system. And organ systems together gives us the organism, that means the human body. So which is the most basic structure? It is a cell. So in this picture you can see different types of single-celled organisms like E. coli, paramecium, then pedestrium, spirogyras, alga, example of alga. Then there are some multicellulars also, plants. Okay, you can see. So just examples. What about the size of the cell? This is, see, smallest cell, it is 0.1 micrometer. Then generally the size it's from 0.2 to 20 micrometers. So हे जे मदले आसा ते तुमकां not necessary, don't go for that. Only फक्त युनिसेल्युलर आणि मल्टीसेल्युलर सेल जर तुमकां गिव द डिफरन्शिएट बिटवीन अशें जर आयलें जाल्यार तुमच्या टेक्स्टबुकान एक टेबल आसा, जस्ट गो थ्रू दॅट टेबल. इट्स सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी टेबल, ताजेर पॉयंट्स दिल्या हाव यू कॅन डिफरन्शिएट बिटवीन युनिसेल्युलर एंड मल्टीसेल्युलर ऑर्गॅनिजम्स. बाकीचे जे आसा हे तुमकां ह्या टॉपिकांतले कांय नाका. सायज ऑफ सेल. Now, which cell type is larger? So, it's asking you, there are 3 different cells like plant cell, animal cell and the bacteria. Generally, plant cells are larger than the animal cells and animal cells are larger than the bacterial cells. So, smallest are the bacterial cells, then the animal cells and largest are the plant cells. Thank you my dear students.